Hey there everyone, my name is Nate and welcome to my channel, An Ordinary Search for Truth. If you're watching this, then you're probably a lot like me and have a lot of deep questions about pretty much everything. And if you're just watching this because I told you to, thank you so much for your support. I really am designing this channel to help people grow in understanding as human beings because that is my life purpose, is to grow in understanding, and I want to share that purpose with you. So I'm very passionate about these videos. They've been weeks and months in the making, and I am so excited to be getting started finally. Before I do anything, I want to thank not only you for watching, but also my friends, my coworkers, anyone who supports me not only in this video making process, but also in my personal life. Thank you so much. Your support means everything to me. I'd like to make a special shout out to my wife. Thank you for supporting me, believing in me, especially when I didn't believe in myself. That has been invaluable, and I would not be here without your love and openness. So thank you. Without any further ado, let's get into it. This video is going to be a quick introduction to what my channel is all about and what you can expect from my content. As my title suggests, this is all about an ordinary search for truth. Most of us feel like we're pretty ordinary people. I definitely do. And if you are watching this, you're probably interested in some of the deep questions of life. Who am I? What am I doing here? What is this reality that we participate in? What is life all about? Is there meaning? Is there not meaning? Should I follow a religion or a specific spirituality? Should I follow a philosophy? Is there a God? Is there not a God? All of these questions we will be discussing and more in depth. The way that my videos will work is each week I'll have a new topic and I'll do 2 videos regarding that topic. The first video every week is going to be a surface look, and it is what it sounds like. It's going to be a quick overview of basic concepts, foundational knowledge, and things that are just important to know, and things that you could probably find yourself after 5 or 10 minutes of online research. This will simply be to catch folks up to a pretty basic understanding. So if you feel like you already have a basic understanding, feel free to skip that episode and just go to my next video. The next video will be called A Deeper Look, and that's where I'll be spending most of my time. In A Deeper Look, we'll be simplifying some complex concepts, maybe correcting some misunderstandings or prejudices or judgments that common society makes about these topics or questions. We'll really just be digging in deep and trying to get to the meat of what this topic or question is all about. And after doing so, not only will we increase our understanding, but whether we find an absolute truth or an absolute answer or not, we'll be applying what we learn to our lives. And that is the most important step, is application. Because what's the point of research if we're not applying what we learn to our lives to become better people, to grow and expand and live life with more grace? That's ultimately what my channel is all about. We'll be going through a 4-step process every week, and that process is pretty simple. First, ask questions. Not just regular everyday questions, but important, meaningful questions. Ones that maybe we don't have the answers for or are unsure about our answers. Secondly, we'll be investigating with an open mind. That's really important. Us as humans, we're biased creatures. Most of us think we know or want to think that we know the answers to everything. And so when we're doing this investigation, it's really important to not assume that you know anything and go in with an open mind, an open heart, and no agenda as to what the results may be. And that opens you up to being able to receive truth, because truth will come the way it is, not the way you think it is. The third step is to accept the results with just as much of an open mind and open heart as you conducted the investigation with. Lastly, not only should we go through this whole investigation, ask the question, do the research, accept the answers? But once we gain this understanding about these topics or questions, we need to apply it to our lives, as I've said before. And that's going to be a main focus of Deeper Look, is doing exercises and thoughts provoking activities that will apply the information that we learn to our lives so that we may grow and live as better human beings. That is ultimately what my channel is all about. One thing I would like to put forth right now is don't believe anything that I say. Don't take anything on trust or on faith. If you don't agree with something that I've said on my episodes or conclusion that I've made, then don't get mad at me. That's simply my process, and that's simply my answer. But if you don't agree with it, feel free to do the investigation process yourself and come to your own conclusions, come to your own answers, because ultimate truth is really hard to get at. A lot of times our minds get in the way, and what we think about life, what we think about truth, often takes the place of what actual truth is all about. So, what I'm all about is investigation and research. I'm helping you learn how to do this and showing you what conclusions I've made when I've done it in my own life. And I encourage you to do it in your own. Come to your own conclusions, build your own worldview. That will be the strongest foundation for you to stand upon for the rest of your life. Now, on to who this is for. As you've probably guessed, most of my content is going to be for open-minded, curious, philosophical, question-asking kind of people, seekers of truth. If you fit that description, please keep watching. We're here for you. I'm making these for you. If you're someone who's not willing to change or grow or is perfectly happy where they're at in their worldview, they're not looking to investigate other religions or spiritualities or philosophical concepts, then I probably wouldn't watch these videos because they're not geared for you. I would like to mention that even if you are a seeker of truth, some of the information or some of the questioning that goes on here might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, especially if you've never done this before in your life. It's really easy to stay comfortable in what we believe as true or not true, and not to question those things. But I'd like to point out that a lot of these things that you think you were taught by people who were taught by people who were taught by other people. A lot of times those people were parents or friends, family, leaders, teachers, and people like that. Eventually, we followed the chain back to someone who discovered these things based on their own experience and their own investigation. And I want to highlight how important that is for you to do yourself. Because even though you may trust those people that you got a lot of your answers for things from, it's not going to be nearly as sturdy a foundation as if you came to those answers on your own, through your own experience, through your own investigation and questioning. So even though a lot of what we'll be doing might be a little uncomfortable at first, become comfortable with the uncomfortable. And in time, what's uncomfortable will be made comfortable. Your comfort zone will expand, and you'll be more open to new information and asking questions than you were before. That will not only make you more open to new information, but also open to other people who may be different from you. And as a result, you might be able to process life and others and yourself with more wisdom and understanding. You might ask, if I highlight investigation on your own as being so important, then what's the point of me? What's the point of me making these videos? Really, the answer to that is I want to help you start the research process, give you a foundation from which to continue on in your own way, in your own time. And that would be through giving streamlined, simple, direct information and going through the research process on maybe a simpler level. And then you can go through it again on your own in a deeper way. I don't claim to be the only source of truth or the only person who is doing this on YouTube. I watch several people who have helped me greatly in my own journey and my own spiritual path, and I will gladly point you towards those people. I will just name three today. The first would be Leo Gura. If you're interested in really deep, extensive, and expansive investigation, Leo Gura does some of the best I've ever seen. I will say his videos are long, 2 to 3 hours sometimes, on some of the topics that are really foundational, but definitely worth the time. He does podcasts as well, so if you don't have time to watch, but you're commuting, whatever, you can listen to his podcasts. He has a great understanding of what you might consider absolute truth, as well as how to apply it to your life. The next one that I might recommend is Koi Fresco. He's had a great spiritual journey, and he's done videos on all sorts of topics, definitely more than Leo has. And Koi is a great person to connect with. He's got a good personality, and he's grown so much over his YouTube career. I would definitely recommend watching him. And lastly, Aaron Abke. He's got more of a Christian background, and he does very simple, extremely direct videos regarding a lot of different subjects. And he often takes kind of a Christian turn to them, which might be helpful for anyone who's watching who's Christian. You might feel his vibe a little bit better than the others. So there's a few places that you can go to expand your knowledge and get more information about some of the same concepts that we'll be going over in my video series. I'd like to conclude by saying my goal here is not just to help you grow as a human being, but to develop skills of reasoning and investigation on topics that you might consider foundational to your worldview. And that is really hard to do alone. So I'm here for you. I want to help you. So please comment down below. Give me advice, tips, things that you want to hear, questions that you have, topics that you want to be considered. Anything like that will help me present content that you want to see and that will ultimately help you the best, because I'm here for you. I want to go on this journey with you, so definitely give me pointers on how to best help you progress in your own spiritual journey. My next video will be more about me personally, why I'm making this content, where I've come from to be able to make this content, and just a bit about my own journey. Maybe you'll find some similarities and some things that you can relate to. If you want to see more content from me, definitely subscribe and I'll keep you notified. If you want to show your support, hit the like button. Let me know that you're enjoying what I'm posting. And lastly, thank you again for all your support, for being here and staying with me through this first video. I wouldn't be here without you, so I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.